Hey guys, today we're going to work on converting customary units of capacity. When we talk about customary units, we're talking about the units of measurement that we tend to use in the United States, as opposed to metric units, which are used in other places in the world. When we talk about capacity, we're talking about how much something can hold. So that means that units of capacity tend to be the ones that we use like when we're cooking, because a cup refers to the amount that something can hold. You could add like a cup of flour or a cup of milk to something that you were cooking. Just like we discussed on yesterday's video, units of capacity are included in your 5th grade ACAP reference sheet. So when you're converting between units of capacity on the test, make sure to check out what the reference sheet tells you about how many of each unit you can convert between each other. Okay, so on your reference sheet, instead of saying capacity, they use the term volume. But they mean the same thing. Okay, so if we're going to convert, let's look at number 1. We're going to convert 2 quarts to some number of pints. If you're ever wondering which is bigger, a quart or a pint, take a look at your conversion chart for clues. So here I can see that there are 2 pints in 1 quart. If I can fit 2 pints in 1 quart, that tells me that pints are smaller than quarts. So here we have a case of horse to fly, multiply, because we're moving from a larger unit of measurement, quarts, to a smaller one, pints. So horse to fly, multiply. I'm going to take my 2 quarts and multiply it times the 2 pints that are in each quart for a total of 4 pints. If you want to see what that looks like visually, try drawing a little measuring cup, and we can say that this is 1 quart. Each quart can hold 2 pints. So here's 1 pint highlighted in red, and here's another pint highlighted in blue. Now in this problem, I don't have just 1 quart, I actually have 2 quarts. So if I add another quart to my model, I can see that I have a total of 1, 2, 3, and 4 pints. Okay, so now we've done number 1, so let's take a look at number 2. We're going to convert 5 cups and figure out how many pints and cups that will give us. What this tells me is that my 5 is not going to divide evenly among my among the number of pints, so I'm going to have essentially like a mixed number here to work with. Okay, now let's think about cups versus pints. Which is bigger? Cups versus pints. So let's look at our conversion chart. And here I can see that I have 2 cups in each pint. If I can fit 2 cups in a pint, that tells me that cups are smaller than pints. So this is a case of fly to horse, divide, of course. I'm going to take my 5 cups and divide it by 2 cups in each pint. And of course I'm sure you guys know that 5 divided by 2 is not going to divide evenly. Now, I've been doing this long enough that I know that 5 divided by 2 is going to give me 2 pints and 1 cup left over, and I'm going to show you how I know that using a visual model. So let's draw a cup, and I'll add a little handle to it to make it clear that it's a cup. And I've got 5 of these. So here's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remember, we've already said that we can combine 2 cups to make 1 pint. So I can combine this cup with this cup. That's going to make 1 pint. 1 pint. I can combine this cup with this cup. That's going to make another pint. So now I've got 2 pints all together. And then I have 1 cup left over. Okay, for number 3, I'm going to convert between gallons and pints. First, let's figure out which of these units of measurement is bigger than the other one. Let's see, gallons to pints. So here it tells me that there are 4 quarts in a gallon, and furthermore, there are 2 pints in a quart. So this is actually going to be a 2-step operation here. If I can fit 2 pints in a quart and 4 quarts in a gallon, that tells me that a gallon is a bigger unit of measurement than either pints or quarts. Since I'm moving from bigger to smaller, that's a case of horse to fly, multiply. So I'm going to have to take my 3 gallons and multiply it times something to get me to not pints yet, but quarts first. Because see here, I can't go directly, or at least using this chart, I can't go directly from gallons to pints. I've got to first switch from gallons to quarts and then quarts to pints. So to switch from gallons to quarts, I'm going to multiply my 3 gallons times the 4 quarts in each gallon. That'll give me 12 quarts. And if you want to see it visually, here's your gallon jug. Pretend like that's a jug. That's 1 gallon, or 4 quarts. And if I have 3 of those, that would be 4, 8, and then 12 quarts. Now, in each of these quarts, I can further divide each quart into 2 pints. So in order to show that, I'm going to show the 4 quarts that are in this gallon. That's 4 quarts. And then I'm going to divide each quart into 2 pints. So this is 2 pints, this is 2 pints, this is 2 pints, and this is 2 pints. That's a total of 8 pints in my whole gallon. So let's see. Now I've figured out that each of my gallons has 8 pints in it. 8 times 3 gallons will give me 24 pints. Or the other way I could do it is take my 12 quarts, multiply it times the 2 pints in each quart for a total of 24 pints. Either way, I've got 24 pints. Okay, this next one's going to be a little bit different. Here we're converting fluid ounces to cups. And here I can see that I can fit 8 fluid ounces into each cup. If I can fit 8 fluid ounces into each cup, that tells me that fluid ounces are smaller than cups. So I'm going to be converting, let's see, smaller. Fly to horse, divide, of course. I'm going to need to divide my 96 fluid ounces by the 8 fluid ounces that can go into each cup. Now this is good for us to practice because we haven't really done all that much division lately. How many times does 8 go into 9? 1 time. 1 times 8 is 8. Subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring down your 6. 8 goes into 16. 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16, so I have no remainder. So that tells me that there are 12 cups in 96 fluid ounces. Okay, so I've done the first 4 problems with you, and I would like you to go ahead and do the rest of this student sheet on your own. Remember that for question 13, you're going to need to write a complete sentence, including vocabulary words. You should plan to probably need to check your grade for this assignment and check my feedback that goes with the assignment, and then possibly correct mistakes and resubmit. In my experience, measurement is something that takes a lot of practice to really get good at. So I'm kind of planning on a lot of people needing to redo this sheet and then resubmit it. All right, so let me know if you need any help with it at all.